In this video, I'm going to be telling you guys how I got in my first fall semester, which is very hard to do. First off, I just want to say I literally haven't posted a YouTube video in like 4 months. If I'm not commuting, I'm doing homework. If I'm not doing homework, I'm in class. If I'm not in class, I'm studying. And if I'm not doing none of that, I'm doing something for my consulting club. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Mariah, and today I'm going to tell y'all everything you need to know about getting into a consulting club. Berkeley was really an experience first semester, and yeah, but it finally wrapped up, so I'm now making content again. Yay. I specifically wanted to get this video out first because it's about to be recruiting season, and especially for clubs, if you don't know what it is when you're in college, since there's a lot of big campuses, a lot of students, most clubs you have to apply to get in just because there's going to be limited space. And some of the most impacted clubs and the most competitive clubs are consulting clubs, especially at UC Berkeley. So if you don't know, I go to UC Berkeley and I'm a first year, and I got into a consulting club this semester, so my first fall semester. And sometimes it takes people like 1 to 3 semesters to get into these clubs. So I just wanted to share how I got into a consulting club my first try. Yeah. Specifically for my club, 400 undergraduate students around that applied, and they accepted 8 of us in, meaning that there's a 2% acceptance rate. But don't let the stats scare you or nothing. Definitely apply to these clubs because getting in will be one of the best things you could do for yourself in college, regardless of the major, regardless of the track you want to take. If you don't know what a consulting club is, it's basically a group of undergraduate students that source clients and are able to research and then provide these specific clients with recommendations on how to improve their businesses. And a lot of different consulting clubs, they're separated into like different spheres. So my consulting club specifically focuses on social impact and amplifying impact within businesses, or helping nonprofits better their businesses to then further the impact. There's also some consulting clubs that focus mainly on business strategy, corporations, and even just the tech industry. In this video, I'm going to be telling you guys how I got in my first fall semester, which is very hard to do. And it's definitely, once you're in these clubs, especially if you're my year, it's definitely very intimidating because I'm fresh out of high school. I was 18 at the time, and then I'm surrounded by, the oldest person in my club was like 23, and just seniors that have jobs at Google for next year, have lined up a bunch of internships. And if you get into these clubs, it's important to not get intimidated or feel like you have imposter syndrome and like you don't belong, because you got to remember that these people have had 4 years more of experience than you have. Like, you're just getting here. Like, once you reach their age, you'll have enough time to have done everything that they did. But I'm just in a different space, and it took me like a little bit to realize that, because yeah, it's Berkeley. Berkeley's intimidating in itself. So for applying to a consulting club, I really had no idea what I was doing, nor any idea what I was signing myself up for. So the way my club was structured is there's a project manager, a senior associate, a returning associate, and then 2 other associates. So it's teams of 5. We each get a company, and then we work for that company for the semester. And usually it consists of like weekly assignments, whether that be doing case study interviews, researching the market, etc. And then every week, whatever what our assignment was, we compiled our research and our findings into slides on PowerPoint, and then, you know, we made them look aesthetic and all that. And then by the end of the semester, we compile all our slides together and we present it with recommendations to the company. Hopefully that makes sense. If not, I'm going to tell you more about my project as an example. But I do want to say that skip ahead. Look in the description of this video to see where you should skip ahead to if you're only focused on learning about how to get into the club. And then skip ahead there. But if not, I'm going to say right now more about my specific project this semester. So since I was in a consulting club specifically focusing on social impact, we worked with Kiss the Ground, which is a nonprofit focused on educating people on regenerative agriculture. and they just created a documentary that was released like years ago, but then they have a second one that just dropped, and then they compiled all their findings into educational courses, and it's like 9 hours long. So they compiled it into a 90-minute course that they're selling as a product to companies to show to their employees. And yeah, so what they wanted to know from us is how they should best approach this, like what the market was looking like for online educational ed tech courses, and how they can amplify their impact and get people involved and engaged beyond just watching the documentary and completing the course. So this probably sounds like a lot and just like a lot of words, but hopefully I can explain it better and more in depth. And if you have any more questions about it, comment them down below and I will explain it better, because there's no way I'm explaining this well. So to give you more idea of like the structure and how it worked is like for like the first half of the semester we were focusing on educational courses on its own and what other companies that had educational courses were doing and how they're marketing to help us brainstorm ideas for what works best within the market. Then after that we focused on learning how to best restructure the course that they already had to make it better for engagement and what would help people get more involved post engagement after the course. And the way we did this is focusing on a funnel, and we used this app called Figma. We created an outline for how we best thought that they should structure their website. I feel like no one's gonna care about this. So we came up with ways that they should best structure their website and to increase engagement. So just like little things like adding a shortcut from like redirection of links, including search bars, having locators so people can find chapters like near them and advocates near them, just stuff like that, making things as easy as possible for the learner to get engaged with all the resources that Kiss the Ground had to provide them. I think that's about the most I can share about this because it is like contracted, so I'm not allowed to say too much about what we do within like the company and within our work, but that's kind of like a general broad overview of what I was working on this semester. Being in a consulting club, I was able to learn like a lot of different skills, how to use PowerPoint, how to use Figma, how to use a lot of different skills that real businesses and corporations utilize. And it also helped me develop professional skills like how to do behavioral interviews, how to update my resume, how to make my LinkedIn look really professional. So these are just basic skills that anyone in any industry can use, and that's why I'm saying no matter if you want to do business or consulting, try to join a consulting club to get that professional development. This consulting club, put this in the middle of the video, right? This consulting club has taken up a lot of my time though. This consulting club has taken up a lot of my time. So on Monday I'd have a 2-hour meeting with my project team, and then on Wednesday I would have a 2-hour meeting with like the entire club, and then we would have like socials throughout the club, like just getting lunch together or just going out, I guess. And then like we would have like big events too that are fully funded by the club. Like we had a retreat weekend at an Airbnb at like this lake, and then we also had like these buses drive all the way to the Stanford versus Berkeley game, which if you're from the Bay, you know that that's like our rivalry. And so there's like a lot of professional commitment that goes into this, but then there's also a lot of social commitment too. So just remember that. This is sounding so serious, so I'm gonna post like a more upbeat video eventually, but I just really want to get this out as recruiting seasons are around the corner, and as there's not really raw perspectives on getting into a consulting club from the perspective of a college student, because I remember when I was trying to get in, I was looking for him and I was not seeing none of it. I wasn't seeing none of that, so that's why I'm making one now. I've listed out on my iPad some of the different tips that I want to talk about on like how to get in, and just the honest opinions of how to get in and how the process works. So for most consulting clubs, there's like 4 different stages or events. There's going to be info sessions, and it's important to attend the info sessions because it gets your face out there and it gets the people in the club to recognize you and who you are. And these info sessions just tell you about their specific club, help you meet the project managers and exec. Something that's also important to know is executive and project managers have the most power in deciding who's getting accepted into the club. So definitely talk to them at the info sessions and network. Beyond that, there's also going to be a first round application, and this is kind of where you just submit questions about the club, submit answers to questions about the club, and also submit resumes, all that. If you make it past that first round, some clubs have group interviews, but some just send you directly to like the final round. And we went, for my club, it went directly to the final round. So I made it past the resume stage and then went to the final round. And as a part of the final round, the casing questions, parts about market sizing, and then there's also a behavioral section. So in the behavioral section, they kind of just ask you like, oh, tell me about yourself. Like, why do you want to specifically join the impact? Just little stuff like that. But the casing part, that's where people stress. Yeah. And that's where it gets hard. So I'm gonna link some really good videos that I watched that helped me learn how to case. But I just got into the club. Like, I'm not a pro caser at all, or really super strong and confident in casing, so that's why I'm not really going to talk about that as much. Just know that's a very key and important part. Don't stress it too much because they're not expecting you to do the case perfectly. They're expecting you to be teachable and coachable. Another thing I want to say is that the first Black person to get into my consulting club got in 2020. That was 3 years ago. So these clubs we're working on, specifically at Berkeley, just trying to diversify them more. So no matter your background, no matter your experience, definitely just try to apply to these clubs. Also, at the end of the day, since the rejection rates for these clubs are really high, it says nothing about you. Like, don't get discouraged if you have to apply more than once or if you don't get in. These are literally just a group of college students. We're all just students here, and we're all just trying to develop professionally. It says nothing about you entirely. There's just so many factors that go into selection in terms of picking who gets into these clubs. Comment down below if you have any more questions, if you want me to go more in depth. I just wanted to give a little quick brief overview, so I'm not going super in depth into all these topics. But if there's one that you specifically have questions about, definitely comment below and let me know how I can best help you. Join these clubs because a lot of people don't know about them early on, and the sooner you join them, the better off you'll be in college and in the long run professionally. Thank you guys for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video and was able to gain something and feel more confident about applying to a consulting club, specifically at UC Berkeley. If not, I don't know. Let me know what I can do better, I guess. But don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And stay tuned for more videos, because now that the semester's over, I got time. I got free time. So I'm about to be more active in professional videos. So comment down below what more you want to see from me. Be blessed, y'all.